feel like Ember Moon is the perfect what do you call it? Got to get all these holes out the window, out the door. I feel out the wall. I feel like it's still there. I feel. Let me start this line so we can actually edit
Yeah.
this in.
All right.
I feel like Ember Moon is the perfect link if it is going to be her because Rude and Bo would be great. I'd love to see Bo on a personal level because he was one of my favorite heels in recent WWE history. But I think Ember would be the smartest choice because the women's division is taking this weird turn now that you have like Mia Yim and Mercedes Martinez no longer in NXT, which kind of sucks because like I know Mia Yim had her time in the sun. She had a very underwhelming women's championship opportunity where she was trying her best to work harder to make up for that. And Mercedes Martinez has kind of been like didn't have a bad storyline with Robert Stone and that whole contingent, but like you want to see her kind of be on her killer type mess, and I guess you could do that
They
with
pulled her too
Retribution.
soon. They pulled her too soon.
I agree. It reminds me of when they pulled Sonya Deville up really quick with the Absolution thing, and just that whole spree of women getting brought up, and none of them are really doing anything up until recently. That's kind of the ironic part. Like when you think of all the women that got pulled up between Absolution and the Riot Squad, none of them were really doing anything up until this year or within the last year, right? So, and that was what, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that.
I got you a question, right?
So,
Do you think it's about time that now that NXT is a 2-hour show, right? Do you think it's about time that certain people that are not being used properly on Raw or in SmackDown, you probably would transplant them to NXT?
There's a question.
I'm not saying you should splurge it.
There's a question for the floor, or
It's a question for the floor.
yeah, splurge.
I would.
I'm sorry, I watched too much Archer.
It's all right.
I'd probably still say no.
I'd say yes.
I get the argument for yes, and I understand like the whole thing of splurge, but based off of you having to preface it, that's the only rationale that I have. It's one of those things where I trust your logic, I don't trust them to apply your logic.
Yeah, I think in a fantasy booking situation it'd make a lot of sense because there are plenty of people who I think could be there and work. But the thing is like you have to realize like this isn't the old NXT where NXT was like a mix of misused main roster talent and then the NXT startups that were like in FCW and whatnot. Like this NXT is more of we could do that, but will WWE allow us to do that and do it well? Because like NXT has also been victim to terrible call-ups, terribly timed call-ups. A lot of people like the fact that we have to bring them back to NXT to revamp them kind of is a telling tale of like if this is a constant cycle, it might not be great for either party. Although we're here wanting Ember Moon to come back because she fits. And it's like, you're kind of just in this weird in between. It's like if Triple H had more control over this, I'd say yes. Absolutely yes.
I'm just pissed that they took the control away from him because up until the pandemic, he basically had sole control over it.
I mean,
well, actually, Vince was getting more. Whether it was the call-ups or not, Vince was actually starting like once they got to USA Network.
Yeah, exactly.
Closer to that, Vince was like, "I gotta get some."
Yeah, it was doomed because, well, not doomed, but like more attention was gonna be had because of the being on that network as opposed to just being streaming on the WWE network.
And then even indirectly, not to cut you off, but like Vince would have caught on. It's sort of like if a country realizes their overall population is going down because they're moving to it. A lot of their people are moving to a different country, right? Like imagine all the like we use your system of like going back to the old NXT roots of like all these misused people.
Mm-hmm.
If they all went to NXT and NXT's doing gangbusters, as Jay once said on an episode Once Upon a Time ago, if NXT's doing amazing with all these talent and everyone's loving NXT and Raw and SmackDown are still stagnant, Vince is going to look over his shoulder and be like, what the fuck is going on? And he's going to look at NXT and be like,
which is what prompted them to even be on USA in the first place.
Yeah, because he's like, that's what happened with SmackDown back in Ruthless Aggression, right? SmackDown would make all these guys, And Vince would sit there and be like, "Well, I want some of these guys. Why aren't we doing that over here?" And it's like, I wonder why.
But the
And
thing
then,
about it is, when you get those guys, right,
yeah,
you have to keep the momentum going rather than just stifling it and making it into your own.
which is what WWE has
That's-
proven time and time again that they aren't going to do in this modern era.
Exactly. So it's one of those things where the idea is perfect, but it's I trust you. I don't trust the people that are controlled by you thing.
We
It's
just got Tyler Breeze back. I don't want him to go back.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
He finally won a title.
And fashion police. Just fashion police in general. Like
Yeah.
shout out to Fandango, Johnny Curtis, whatever you want to call him. You know, the dream love interest of Sable, even though Brock Lesnar would kill him. Yeah, we're gonna show love to him. You know, because
that wouldn't have been a death. That would have been a deletion for real.
yeah, that one episode when he was just like, when I was
he would have killed him.
He would have, in word to Owen Hart, ripped his leg out of his leg.
Yeah, he's like, I was in college.
Like he would like
Sable was hot in the attitude era.
Like Tyler Wahaba wings, Rock would have ripped him open a new one. So
you don't even got to do that to me, man. Why I always got to be thrown under this bus, man? I'm tired of this shit. I tell you, I don't even like the Metro like that, man. Trains all that. Point being, what do you call it? No, I'm playing. But my thing is like, yeah, what you're saying is sound. It's sort of like when we have our fantasy bookings and we're all talking about X, Y, Z, and it's like
titles and this and
we know it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
Man, this
man.
Sasha Banks is getting her just due now. It's been 5 years.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
I mean,
and she got a neck brace. She got to do this with a neck brace and Star Wars. What? Why is that a sentence? That doesn't make any goddamn
I still kind of want to.
I wonder if Makasi will be using the Force when the Mandalorian comes out.
We're editing that out. Moving on. Jay, please, I beg you.
We out. That's done.
That's anything inflammatory. I just asked a question.
Oh, perfect. My battery's about to die too, so I'm out.
All right, I'll catch you guys. I actually have to edit a paper for my cousins in Haiti, so I don't get a choice in this.
I edit some things myself, so
fuck WhatsApp. All right,
I'll catch you later.
Peace.